Portugal, 2024.
Yes.
What's happened so far?
I think because we know the place well this time we stayed closer to the gym, which has been a lot, I'd say a lot more handy. Facilities where the running track's 5 minutes away as well, away from the gym. I think the hotel this time's got a good gym, sort of when I want one or two of the fighters might want one of the rowers and stuff like that, make use of the machines, the weights. Listen, it's been a great place, and for February, I think as you can probably see from the t-shirt tan yesterday, we've had very nice weather, so it's made things a little bit nicer as well.
What does the weather actually do, in all seriousness, for a fighter at this time of year? It's
fantastic. Listen, it's a big thing. It's a bit of vitamin D never does anyone any harm, but I think it just makes it that a little bit easier, doesn't it? I think in everyday life, if you get up and the sun's shining, you get out of bed that little bit easier than when it's cold and the rain's bouncing against the windows. I think it just sort of makes you go about your job with a smile on your face, I really do. I know people look at boxing and say, well, it doesn't have to be like that. But if you can make it a little bit nicer, a bit more enjoyable, any job, I think that's when you're at your best.
For those watching some of the clips that have been doing the rounds, and it might look like it's a little bit of a jolly, but talk us through an itinerary from obviously we arrived here Monday morning, so talk us through how it's been working in terms of a training day here in Portugal.
Listen, we can joke about like that, but every morning we're in the gym working hard, and I think you see the hard work that goes on at the gym, and then at the night it varies from the strength work, whether it be then some interval work as well, so I'm mixed in with it as well, the running track. It also depends on me. We've got a lovely beach down there. We do a few sort of drills on the beach and stuff. It's always a little bit nice to get in front of him, get on the sand and do a little bit of work as well to strengthen those legs up. But no, I think with it is very intense, like you say. I think a lot of the lads, they're not in a rush to go to the marina in the bars there with the golfers, because they know they're putting the work in the day.
But there is a bit of downtime too, which is just, obviously James Moorcroft has a fight pending, so he has to just avoid any temptations and stick to the clean food, which he's doing. The others who just box, they can have a little bit of relaxation and one or two beers.
Even that, but obviously they'll fit back out, but they have been able to enjoy themselves a little bit more than James. But even like when we went Padel, and that, it's great, but it's very active, and like that competitiveness is good, but it's Padel's a great game, isn't it? But he's just very enjoyable. I think everything sort of is almost based around training. Listen, there's a bit of downtime. Went and watched United the other night in a friend's bar and stuff like that. They looked after us with the food and stuff, but it's he's very much first and foremost that he's training. It's not a lad's holiday.
And coming up now, just again, this adds that little few percent for James and whatever.
I think James is important. He's got a really important fight next week where, I hate sort of putting that pressure on him, but probably career's on the line, because if it goes wrong next week, he's done with, as harsh as that sounds. So it's good to have him the week before, because I know for a fact James at times doesn't listen. He'll go and do a little bit more than what he says he can, so I can keep track on him. And it's like yesterday, I think he asked me 5 times about trying to get a run. I can't be certain he didn't sneak out in the middle of the night and go for a run, but I'm pretty sure he's listened. So even looking like that, so hopefully he'll be a bit fresher next week, and he'll be at his best.
You've done training camps in the past, but now with the Project Boxing training camps, it's a little bit different, isn't it? Obviously, it is giving fighters an opportunity that they wouldn't get, because obviously different stages of career, but boxers, they don't tend to earn a great deal. You don't know when you're fighting. It's hard to kind of obviously keep your funds together, if you like, when you don't know when you're fighting. So these things are so key, aren't they? And this is why it's so important for businesses to get involved with what we're doing.
So the likes of Bobby are like, and I see the improvement in him. We saw the performance from him weekend, and he's been sort of straight back in the gym. We were sparring yesterday, learning and different styles, different sparring partners over there. And one of the lads, he's going to the Olympic qualifiers next week, and like a few of the sort of novice pros over here. We've had some amount of fights with him, and obviously there is also the talented, the ones who are a little bit, fighting at championship level. So the sparring's been good also. But Bobby wouldn't be able to come if it wasn't for this, because otherwise he would have to work this week. Bobby, I say it all the time, people don't realise sort of the harsh reality of boxing. Like, comes away with what would be the minimum wage, less than the minimum wage. You know, if you sort of broke it down with expenses and stuff, he'll be at a loss. So for him to get away here, sort of a training camp and be looked after a little bit, it's a nice reward.
And a new addition in terms of Dan Morley?
Dan, Dan's known mostly for the great content he puts out on his social media, I believe. I don't think I'm biased, it might be the best boxing page on social media. Some of the stuff he puts on is fantastic, or most of it. But he can also fight, and he's got that hunger back, and I think it's meant a lot to him coming out here, sort of training abroad. And also, obviously, I'm not Dan's coach, but working with the lads and a little bit with me as well, I think he's found that beneficial. Hopefully, he can take some of this back home with him, back to London when he goes home, and add a few of these things in.
What's the plan then with Project Boxing and these kind of trips, and just what the future kind of holds for these experiences for the fighters?
Yeah, I think, like you say, boxing can take you some crazy, wacky places. I know Portugal's not too wacky, but it really is how we looked after over here. It's very special to us. It's sort of like home away from home, it really is. But yeah, no, I think there's probably different parts of the world, which brings different sparring partners, different experiences. And me as a coach, then you see how other coaches are working around the world, and hopefully that can improve me, and I can take little benefits, little things they might do. There might be some things I think, I don't really like that. Might be some things I think I really like that. I'll try and bring that into my training as a coach. So I don't want to say it's all about me, but a little bit of it is, like, where I can sort of benefit and try and improve as a coach as well. Just try to do things a little bit differently with Project Boxing. So yeah, this is what it's all about, and get on board.